we've got a door here. The door is closed and it wiggles back and forth. I'm going to show you how to fix that by adjusting the strike plate. Here's what a strike plate looks like. This is on the side of the door, and lots of the strike plates have a little tab on the back. You see that tab there? It's actually inside the strike plate, so you don't really notice it. Now some strike plates don't have this tab. If it doesn't have the tab and your door wobbles back and forth like that, you can't adjust it with the strike plate that you have in the door, so on the side of the door jamb. So you may have to get a strike plate to match the type of strike plate you have with a tab like this. What we're going to do is take that out of the side of the jamb, and then we're going to bend this. We're just going to take a pair of pliers, we're going to grab onto that, and we're going to bend it out just a little bit. And it takes a little bit of doing. You got to kind of hold on to this and bend this. And then we're going to put it back in there. We're going to see how it's adjusted. If you bend it out, the thing you want to do is bend it out a little bit, and maybe just a hair more than you have to. And we can always tap that back in with the screwdriver after it's installed, or we take it back out and bend it a little bit more, depending how hard it's going to bend in there. But that's what we're going to work on now. Before you take this out, there is a way that you can adjust that tab. I don't really like to do it because it doesn't work too well. You could take your screwdriver and try to wedge back in there and pry it out a little bit on top and bottom. It doesn't really work very much. You can only get a minute bit out that way before you bend this. So I would encourage you not to do it that way, but do it the way that I'm going to show you right now. We're going to unscrew this first, and I just use a hand screwdriver on that. You don't need the battery operated drill for this. Once you unscrew this, lots of times this is not going to just pop right out. Look at it really closely. Last thing you want to do is start prying on this and have a chip of your door jamb split off, and uh-oh, now you've made a big mess here for yourself. So look at that. You want to pry gently on here. What I noticed on here was there a little bit of paint got on the top edge, so you got to kind of wipe that off, clean that off with a little screwdriver, and then you can start wedging this just a little bit. So look at it. You could even take a sheetrock knife and just slightly score the underneath side to make sure you don't have any glue or anything like that in there. You want to clean that out. This could take you a little bit of time. Some just pop right out. Others, you just have to be careful a little bit. And then just wedge on it just a little bit, top and bottom. Once you get it this far, wiggle it back and forth. You may still have to get it with a sheetrock knife back here to clean off the paint. Because lots of times they'll put this in, then when they repaint, sometimes when you repaint, sometimes the painters don't take the strike plates out first. That's a bad move, because then you've got this type of problem. Pull these out before you paint, and then put the strike plates back on. That would be a good time to put brand new ones on too, by the way. But anyways, gently get that out of there. Work at it and you'll get it out. I've got the strike plate out, and before I adjust it, I'm just going to clean off the back edge. Take a sheetrock knife and gently clean off all the excess. If you see a little bit of paint on there on the edge of the strike plate, you can clean that off because it's going to fit back in there nicer. If you got any on the front, use your fingernail or something. Don't use the sheetrock knife on the front. You'll scratch this, especially if it's bronze. So get this all cleaned off. And then I'm also going to just clean this gently here so that when it goes back on, it's going to be real nice. Okay? Okay, now we've got the strike plate with the tab on there. I'm just going to take the pliers on here, and I'm going to gently bend it out. So I got to hang on to this because it's real thin. You don't want to bend the rest of your strike plate. Just put a little force on there. Bend out a little bit with your pliers. This is why you don't want to do this really with the screwdriver on the door jamb. I do it this way. Bend it out a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and screw this back in. Okay, put it in there. Make sure it's going to fit nice in there. Just take your your screws and do it by hand. Don't use your battery operated drill on here because you don't want to strip these out. You start spinning these and you're not going to get a nice tight door strike plate. Okay, so just put them in by hand and snug the screws up. Don't over tighten these screws. Ready to try it out? Make sure you push in all the way. Make sure it's in there. This is fine now. Okay, if you're still chattering a little bit, take the strike plate out and bend it out just a little bit more. Now if you get it, and if it doesn't close all the way, I'll show you what to do on that. If you want to tap this out just a little bit, try with your screwdriver. Like I say, I really don't like doing this. You got to be careful. You don't want to hit this edge here, and you could split your jam right here. So I really don't like doing this. I'd rather pull this out. So think before you start whacking on this, especially if if it's really hard to bend this. Some metals are thinner than others. If it's real easy to do with your pliers, then you could. But this one's kind of thick, so I'm going to decide against that. I think I'll do more damage than good this way. So I'm going to pull this back out, rebend it if it's too tight, and just bend it back just a hair. Okay, we're ready to close the door and push it in all the way and try it a few times. Okay, looks good. Cross that off our list.